the Bristol stool chart.
Indeed, guys. So, welcome to another edition of Rage Against the Dice. Today, we're finishing this blooming thing, finally.
Oh.
People have asked for it, and by that I mean a couple of people have said, I can't wait to see it finished.
I was also asking.
Yes, you were the main person asking, I think, under your many pseudonyms.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, all those views are just my different accounts.
Yeah. Alan has been let out of Priest College today.
Yes.
So, there he is. Looking rather
Hello.
dashing. He's hiding the collar because he's embarrassed. Today, Alan's going to be painting up a storm on these bad boys right here.
Well, yeah. We'll try anyway.
Yeah. What we're using, because if you use Games Workshop paints, you go through a lot of Games Workshop paints when painting scenery. So we tend to pick up cheap acrylic paints. I prefer to go to somewhere like The Works or somewhere like that. They do really good mid-range paints that, you know, if you mix them with a bit of medium and stuff, you can actually use them on models. But this was just a cheap one from my local pound shop. Oddly, not a pound. I think it was a bit more than a pound. £1.39 to be exact.
Yeah, pound shops are not what they used to be.
I know they are. This is like, if I buy a bag of broken biscuits and they don't have broken biscuits in, I release hell.
I was like, I want all those broken biscuits.
Yeah. But no. So anyway, so we're going to be using this. I've made some up now. It looks a little bit like that curry mess you did the other night. And that's intentional. No, I haven't added any water to this yet. I'm going to. We're just going to be doing these top bits. And Alan's going to be doing the same colours for the trees. And these tree bases.
Ah.
These are just the Games Workshop trees. People have seen them. People have not seen them. You're going to be using just the similar dry brushing technique that you were using when you were painting your Age of Sigmar model.
Yes.
And the only difference is you want it slightly heavier because you don't want the black to show through as much.
Right.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start it off as I normally would. And this is a slightly different brown to the one I used last time. But if you go out and you look at the ground near your house and then you look at the ground about 10 minutes away, there's probably differences in shadings. In fact, I insist, if you're watching this video, go out and just go and check the differences in the mud around your home.
Oh my God.
You know there's at least one person is going to as well. And I know who it is. I won't say his name or her name, but it's a he.
Right. Should I start, or do you need to add more water?
No, it can do with a little bit more water. I just don't want a lot of water on this.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, even though it's coated, it is still polystyrene.
Yeah.
And obviously polystyrene, as we know from the polystyrene that was in my shed, is quite absorbent.
Yes.
Not
the polystyrene in your shed, the mush.
Yes.
That was in your shed.
It was at one point polystyrene.
Formerly known as poly.
Indeed. I mean, I still, like I was saying on the other video and stuff, I, for the most part, like to work with insulation foam. It handles...
As a colleague?
Yeah, he's a good kid. No, it just tends to handle glues and paints a lot better. You can even use super glue on it without it melting, whereas polystyrene will melt if you get too much super glue on it.
Yeah.
Or maybe any super glue. I'm not stupid enough to use super glue on it, but I've heard it can melt. But yeah, this was purely just what was lying around the home, because I feel it's important. Not because I'm like, do your bit for the environment, although that's apparently a good thing. It's...
Apparently.
Yeah. You know what my man Trump says? Nah. No, God, no. I don't really... I just realised it's like, this is on the internet for all to see. So in like 5 years' time, when I get in some kind of fascist debate with a friend, you'll be like, remember that time on the internet when you said Trump was your friend? It's like, he's not. There's a restraining order.
You're rambling.
They like it.
Do they?
No.
Have we had positive feedback on your mumbles?
I believe so.
Your muses?
Yeah, when I've put videos up where I've said, do you want us to just time-lapse, like when we're playing games, or like just do a round summary, the general consensus is no, it's your idiocies that we enjoy. Which is why I'm not time-lapsing this, because it would be very easy just to time-lapse this bad boy. But instead, I'm just going to let them listen to our waffling. And listen.
I've just noticed this tree has a hang noose.
Yes,
from
it does.
That's disturbing.
but at the same time,
Oddly charming.
yeah.
Reminds me of the good... I'm not saying the good old days.
Yeah.
We're going to get in so much trouble for things we say.
Can't have a Trump conversation and then lead into how hangings were the good old days.
Remember when we used to lynch?
Yeah.
No, don't.
Bet lynch. Is this like a... Is it Coronation Street? Oh, that...
I'll tell you how to instantly demonetize a video.
Yeah. That's okay. We're under 1,000 subscribers anyway. That's going to happen soon enough.
Oh.
It's okay. It's like we said, it's not... We don't use it to, like, live on or anything like that.
What?
Luckily.
I quit my jobs. And joined the priest
But
college.
you have so many.
I know. I've still got at least more 8.
I know, just as I think of them. The worst part is I keep saying them online because you don't want to be a liar. You keep applying for them. Like, I'll be like, yeah, he's a house cleaner. Next thing I know, you're like, I've got a new job cleaning
I'm
houses.
going to have to be a house cleaner now.
Yeah.
Because Kev said it on the internet, which means it has to be true.
Yes, this is right, because everything on the internet is true. So as you can see, through the musings and the wafflings, what I'm doing is I'm just doing all the upwardly, pathwardly bits. And I don't know if the camera's picking up there. It's fine. I'll let him have a look at what you're doing anyway, because, you know, people like Alan.
Yay!
You've got a following. And
Oh.
not just that guy on the bus.
I tried to be funny and think of something.
What have we told you about this?
Oh, don't.
Yes.
Just don't ever. I'm sorry. Oh, I do have a question, though, which I meant to ask.
Yes.
Who's that guy at the beginning of our videos now?
Oh, that's Nick. Nick runs one of the Facebook groups that advertises YouTubers.
Oh.
And so we're part of like a little community, I believe is the term we use.
A collective.
I've been using the term cult. But apparently that's not the correct term.
Yeah.
And the cult has negative connotations.
Yeah, Charlie Manson really ruined it for us all.
Yeah.
I was going to say Charles Bronson, but yeah, him as well.
He's okay.
In his films.
Stabbing. But yeah, so...
Not that one.
Indeed. But no, that's Nick. The channel is iDick Beer.
Right.
I've never realised that sounds like he has sex with beer.
Who doesn't?
Indeed.
Frothy, moist, wet, sloppy goodness.
Sounds like you're describing my gran.
Oh.
She's dead. It's fine.
Hence the
Sloppiness.
I love it when they get all pussy. Oh.
Easy time, yeah.
That is like, what is a double entendre? Well, it wasn't really, but...
You've gone too far.
Okay, there's one brown tree.
Nice. That's a good start. Now brown the rest of them up.
Okay. I just realised I missed an entire branch. A bit like the inbreeding in my family.
Indeed. So what I'm going to do at this stage, before we get banned from YouTube, is we're going to just finish off these little bits and we're going to come back and show you them all browned up. Can I say that? Yeah, it sounds like a thing I can say. You couldn't. You wouldn't get away with it being a priest. Oh, priest in training? What are you called when you're a priest in training?
I don't know.
I'm going to assume dewlap.
Oh.
A dewlap. So yeah, I'm going to go around this and I'm going to just finish off the bits that are meant to be soil or grass or dirt or mound or... Yes.
You're listing the Bristol stool chart again.
Yes, I am.
That's a mound there.
Indeed. I aim for a number 4, but where possible, you know, I'm happy with a 6.
I like it loose and wet.
That's where I'm going to stop this video.
The paint, I mean.
I know. So when we come back, we'll have tried to turn these number 6s into nice number 4s. See you guys in a minute with the progress we have done. So, welcome to Fun with Flags. No, different day, different show.
Oh dear.
Welcome back to our thing with the building and the painting and the painting and the building. So, as you can see, the base coat on this has dried. We've started to do a little bit more on these bad boys. That's been Alan's main task. Not because he can't be trusted with big boy tasks, but...
Kevin basically just gives me busy work whenever I come round. Stops me causing trouble.
Yeah, stop you getting handsy with the neighbours.
The neighbours love it.
They've started to complain, dude.
I assert that they love it.
Yes, but no sometimes does mean no. Most time it doesn't. It means what?
Never.
So what we're doing now is I'm taking this, which is Mornfang Brown, and then I'm just going to dry brush this bad boy on, and you can see straight away it's adding a bit of light. Or actually, because the lighting in my room, in my living room, in my dining room, they're the words I was looking for, is so terrible. You can't see it on the camera, but I assure you it is.
Yes. Top-notch painting tutorials here, where you can't see anything. We like to sort of have our viewers use their imagination.
Yeah, so
I'd like you to imagine what this would look like in a well-lit, high production quality environment.
We are going to have to, at some point, get some better lighting if we're going to do more painting tutorials. It's never been a big issue before because we've mainly just covered the gaming aspect of things.
Yeah.
But with the painting tutorials, we do really need
light.
Yeah.
And up that wattage.
That's true, and that's something we are going to look at. I don't mean like up in the wattage. I just mean up in the wattage. What?
Huh?
Itch?
Indeed.
Yeah. So no, what I'm doing is I'm just going across and dry brushing. Now, I am going to stop. I'm going to time lapse this because most people watching this probably knows how to dry brush, and I feel like I'm just teaching them very, very basics. And for Alan, he's just learned dry brushing, so it's going to be a chance for him to side.
Can I just imagine it's time lapsed?
Yeah, you just move really quickly. It'll be nice. So yeah, we'll get this all dry brushed. And what we're going to do, I'm going to do each coating of it. So it goes Mornfang, then it goes Scrag, and then it finishes with Deathclaw. So just the same way I do the bases on my Lord of the Ring models, and obviously there's a reason for that. These are going to be used on a Lord of the Rings table. Makes sense that the bases match the grass and such, and that's the same way we've done the bases on the trees. So yeah, let's get this underway. Once we've got it to this stage, and as I said, that was using the browns that we were mentioning before. What I like to do is I like to get Screaming Skull, which is like the coolest name for a paint, and a ridiculously large brush. You need to put some of this on a palette because the big brushes don't really fit in the pots that well. So you can't, yeah, you can just see that on camera. And then what you do is you get this, you do that in kind of a circular motion, wipe some of it off, and then just dust the whole thing.
Very super light, isn't it?
Yeah. And it kind of just ties it all together. what I like to do is I like to do just one dusting of like the dirt, and then I'll make sure my brush is completely clean, and then I'll scream and skull the whole thing, and that kind of just brings it together so it feels a bit earthy and feels like it's almost part of the same thing, because it's got that. It's kind of like when you use a filter on a photo, and it kind of ties it together. I suppose is the simplest way to do it, but straight away you can see. So what I'm going to do, I'm not even going to time lapse that because it's just the same technique we used before, and I feel like there's no real need to explain to people how to dry brush again.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that, and then the next step that we're going to do is we're going to add the static grasses. Of which I'm going to use a couple of different mixes, so it'll be slightly different to the one we used before. But I'm going to let all this dry, give it another coat, and then we'll come back to that. Because we need to clean the table as well. Yeah. Because when you're working with static grasses and stuff, you either need to have something down so you can catch up the excess, or you need to have something like newspaper or a clean cloth that you can scoop it and pour it back in. But yeah, so we'll get back to that. If you're at this stage already and you're wanting to sort of move on to the next bit, you're going to need your PVA and your static grasses and things like that. With regards to the stonage and stuff, I like to just get my brush, which is nearly clean, and kind of do stippling. And all it does is it adds some little browns and stuff like that to the rocks. Just adds a little extra to it. The other thing you can do is you can very lightly stipple on like a wash, but it needs to be really watered down because you don't want it to overpower all the dry brushing and stuff. But for now I'm going to finish this off, and then we're going to come back to the static grass stage. Cool. Yeah, so then that Russian spy said no.
No.
Oh, welcome back, guys. So we've got to this stage. So now what you're going to need is your PVA. Again, we're just using your basic kid style hobby based PVA. It is much better if you buy we can buy proper PVA online, or from like trade centers and stuff like that, and it's a much better PVA, but this stuff works really well for what we're doing here. And then we have some varying grasses. We have a scorch grass, we have obviously a light fine grass, we have a dead grass, which and this is kind of my own mix. When I do this and then I shake off the excess, it tends to go in this tub. Right. So you'll see that there's small bits of snow and things like that in there. So what we're going to do is first we get the PVA. And we don't put it everywhere. No. I'm using a dry brush, and the reason that I use a dry brush is it works into the gaps. And so sometimes you'll get where the PVA has gone into the gaps, but it hasn't gone anywhere else. Which I quite like the effect. I try and get in little bits in the corners and stuff like that. And then what you then do is get some flock. And we get our flock from varying different places, and we are going to be doing some reviews on some of the flocks that we've been sent.
Oh, cool.
So we can show off some of those, but they're coming at a later point. You can't give them too much goodness straight away, or they'll expect it all the time, and we'll have to step above them.
Yeah. Need to keep our quality and our standard at a nice mediocre that we can sustain.
Now, sometimes when I'm doing flock, what I'll do is I'll get the sieve. Okay. And I'll sieve it on so it's more even and more fine. Other times what I'll do is I'll get clumps. And the reason that I'll get clumps...
This one appears more clumpy.
Yes. But the reason that I'll get the more clumpy style is because different grounds are different textures. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to PVA this whole thing. I'm going to get my sieve. And we're going to go along. If I do need narration on it, I can put that over the top.
Cool.
But I think we're at a slap PV on this bad boy.
Nice.
got it to this stage, and just a few little bits, what I tend to do is I'll get my watered down PVA, which is
out the spray bottle, yeah.
Out the spray bottle. Make sure you put your lid on all your tubs first, just in case.
Yep.
Because flocks and things like that are expensive. That's one thing to note. I normally would use flocks instead of static grass.
Right.
I'm using the static grass because I was sent a load of static grass.
Okay.
So I'm messing around with it and trying to basically get used to it the way I am with flock.
Other than the Doctor in Star Trek Enterprise, what is flocks?
Indeed. Now, flock is usually made of bits of foam or bits of chip, or sawdust that's finely ground, sprinkled and then painted, essentially, or I guess dipped to colour. Yeah. You can make your own. I tend to just buy it because I'm lazy. Whereas static grass is like those little flakes.
Right. That we see on the models that you put on. Or not?
Yes, yeah. I do a vary. The only thing to say, because I won't show this bit, is I'll usually get some tufts, of which I have loads of varying ones, and I'll add the odd bit of tuft and things like that on afterwards.
Yeah.
But at this stage, and I will show that, but I won't do it at this stage because I'm going to seal this, leave it for a few hours, then tip it upside down and shake off the excess. I could shake off the excess now. In fact, just to sort of show you kind of how much will come off, I will.
And that's why you have an entire tub just for shakedown.
Yeah, and as you can see, boom, you can see the different textures, things like that. Obviously, I'm gonna seal this all off, but I'm gonna clear the table first.
Yeah.
You guys have seen me do sealing before, so there's no real need to show that. What I'm going to do is a few little extra touches, come back once it's all done just to sort of show you it and show you how it's finished. Then what I'll do is I'll tend to blast it with a gloss varnish, a spray gloss varnish, and then a spray matte varnish. Gloss is stronger and protects it a lot more, and then matte takes the shine back off afterwards. And that should stop most of the static grass coming off and the chipping and things like that.
Oh, cool.
If you want to be more efficient with your static grass, you can buy special sieves that have an electric current running through them, because obviously it's static grass and it stands up. What you can also do is you can kind of just blow on it, which is what I do on bases.
A lot of it is standing up purely from when you're doing the shakedown.
Yes,
as well,
it will.
So.
And that's one thing to note. So,
like, the really light bit on this side is proper fluffy.
Yeah. So we will. What I'll do for those little bits is I'll probably, once I've sprayed the PVA on, I'll probably sprinkle some dead grass on it.
Yeah.
Which was this one here. Which I believe came from warpainter.net. And as I said, we are going to do some reviews on the different ones that we've been sent. Because for where that is, that's a bit too bright. Down at the bottom's fine, and if there was some right at the top, that would be okay, because it's where direct sunlight might hit it. But that's like a ridgy path bit that people will walk up. Yeah. So I am going to add a few little bits, and where I want some darker bits and some lighter bits. But that's not really relevant to the video as such. So I'm going to leave it here for now, guys. Don't worry, there isn't a fifth part. I'm just going to come back at the end and finish it off and just tell you the last few steps I did, recap over everything, and then, yeah, so thanks for watching so far. I'll be back in a second. Well, a second for you, it could be anything up to like a month for me. But no, you can see kind of how it comes out, and I think it looks okay considering what it started as, which was a bit of massive lump of polystyrene.
Yeah.
And yeah. So, cool. So guys, I guess this is us finished, and this is the final product. In the end, I ended up really, really liking it, and obviously it is different to that one. It's got more grass. But, you know, they look the same. They look like they could be on the same battlefield, and what I've done is I've also done these in the exact same style, so they all kind of match. And on top of that, we have all these, which are also done in the exact same style, same kinds of greys, same kind of browns, same kind of wooden effect. So everything ties together nicely for one table. I've still got a lot more of these kind of Lord of the Rings, Asgiliath style runes and stuff to put together. I've got a load of buildings to paint, and we've also got some stuff coming from a German company which we are really looking forward to running, doing a video on, because there's a load of really nice bits of scenery that they've sent us for us to have a look at and review. But no, so the only things I did to this from the last time that you saw us on video was I have given it a coat of PVA. I gave it little sprinkles here and there just to where there was bits that were too lush green, little bits that were too dead grass to sort of even things out a bit. Filled in a couple of little holes, touched up a little bit of paint, and then I've given it so far one coat of Purity Seal, or whatever the new Games Workshop equivalent is, to seal it in place. It will get another 2, maybe another 3, because it's a bit of scenery. But other than that, that's all done now. So I do appreciate you guys watching through these videos. I know there's been 4 parts, and the reason I did it in 4 parts was because these get filmed over many, many days. I had to wait for things to dry and little bits like that. So it meant that I could at least be giving you guys some content on the way in small little chunks, instead of it being one large video of like 45 minutes to an hour long maybe. One thing that I would say though is, when you guys have watched through them, let me know. If you like them in 4 parts or multiple parts, I'll do it as that. If you'd prefer it as one long video, I can also put it as that. What I will do though is I'll create its own playlist so that you guys can watch just the 4 parts together. One little thing I did was there was some areas like here where I've got some little cracks and stuff like that. I stuck some little tufts coming out. So it just looked like when you see like rock faces and it has that kind of plant stuff growing out of it. I don't know what that's called, I'm not a geologist. But yeah, but other than that, this is all done now. So yeah guys, hopefully you'll give us a like, a subscribe, and thank you very much for watching the content that we put out. As always, it's been an absolute pleasure. Alan's gone now, he had to return back to his cave. Park is at nursery. So you've just got me for this final stage. But thank you very much, and you take care guys. Praise the dice gods, hope to smile upon you.